Hello everyone, my name is Adrian McFalls, and for my project I chose to research ringworm. The reason I selected to research ringworm was due to my previous exposure to this condition during my wrestling days. Despite being familiar with the term, I lacked a comprehensive understanding of the condition's nature and implications. Therefore, I chose to undertake research on this topic to gain a deeper understanding of ringworm's characteristics and how it can be prevented and treated. Here's an introduction to ringworm. Ringworm is a fungal infection that can affect the skin, scalp, nails, and feet. It is caused by a group of fungi known as dermatophytes, which thrive in warm, moist environments. Ringworm is not actually caused by a worm, despite its name. Ringworm is characterized by a red circular rash that may be scaly, itchy, and raised. The rash can be accompanied by other symptoms such as blisters, oozing, and crusting. Symptoms of ringworm can vary depending on the location and the infection. On the skin, it typically appears as a circular rash and can be red, scaly, and itchy. On the scalp, it can cause hair loss and scaly patches. On the nails, it can cause the nails to become thick, discolored, and brittle. On the feet, it can cause itching, burning, and cracking of the skin between the toes. Modes of transmission for ringworm. Direct contact. Number 1. Direct contact with an infected person or animal. Ringworm can be transmitted through skin-to-skin contact, which skin-to-skin contact with an infected person or animal, such as petting or grooming. Number 2. Contact with contaminated objects such as clothing, towels, or beddings. Ringworm can survive on surfaces such as clothing, towels, or beddings for several weeks, which makes them potential sources for transmission. Number 3 would be the exposure to infected soil or surfaces. Ringworm spores can survive in soil for long periods of time and can be transmitted to humans through contact with infected soil or surfaces. Number 4 would be public places such as locker rooms or showers, which can harbor infected surfaces. Public places such as locker rooms or showers can be breeding grounds for ringworm, as the fungus thrive in warm, moist environments. Infected surfaces such as floors, walls, or benches can serve as a source of transmission. Here are some statistics and the people that are at risk for ringworm. Statistics. According to the World Health Organization, an estimated 20% of the world's population is affected by ringworm. The incidence of ringworm varies depending on geographic location and other factors such as climate, living conditions, and hygiene practices. Who is at risk? Anyone can get ringworm, but certain groups of people are more at risk. People with weakened immune systems, such as those with HIV, AIDS, or cancer, are more susceptible. I know how to say it. To ringworm. People who live in warm, humid climates are also at higher risk, as those who participate in contact sports such as wrestling and football. Here are some symptoms of ringworms. Symptoms. Ringworm is characterized by a red, circular rash that may be scaly, itchy, and raised. The rash can be accompanied by other symptoms such as blisters, oozing, and crusting. Symptoms of ringworm can also vary depending on the location of the infection. On the skin, it typically appears as a circular rash that may be red, scaly, or itchy. On the scalp, it can cause hair loss and scaly patches. On the nails, it can cause the nails to become thick, discolored, and brittle. On the feet, it can cause itching, burning, and cracking of the skin between the toes, which you already seen in the introduction. Picture here is some pictures of what it can cause. The causes of ringworm. The most common pathogen that causes ringworm in humans is the Trichophyton rubrum. Trichophyton is a genus of fungi which includes the parasitic varieties that cause tinea, including athlete's foot, ringworm, jock itch, and similar infections of the nail, beard, skin, and scalp. This accounts for up to 70% of cases. According to the World Health Organization, an estimated 20% of the world's population is affected by ringworm. The incidence of ringworm varies depending on geographic location and other factors such as climate, living conditions, and hygiene practices. Ringworm is highly contagious and can be transmitted through direct contact with an affected person or animal, or by coming into contact with contaminated objects such as towels, clothing, or combs. The fungi that causes ringworm can survive on surface for a long period of time, making it easy to contract the infection. Anyone can get ringworm, but certain groups are at most risk. I told you about, which is people with HIV, AIDS, or cancer, and people who live in warm, humid climates are also at high risk, as are those who participate in contact sports such as wrestling or football. The treatment for ringworm. Treatment for ringworm typically involves the use of antifungal medications, either applied topically or taken orally. Over-the-counter creams and ointments may be effective for mild cases, while more severe cases may require prescription-strength medications. In some cases, oral medications may be necessary to treat ringworm of the scalp or nails. In addition to medication, there are some steps you can take to prevent the spread of ringworm and reduce your risk of getting infected. These include practicing good hygiene, such as hand washing regularly, keeping your skin clean and dry, and avoiding sharing personal items such as towels, clothing, or combs. If you have pets, make sure to keep them clean and treat any ringworm infections promptly. If if you suspect that you have ringworm, it is important to see a healthcare provider for an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. In most cases, ringworm can be effectively treated and managed with medication and good hygiene practices. Finally, we have the impact of ringworm. Ringworm can be uncomfortable and unsightly, but in most cases, it is not serious and can be effectively treated with medication and good hygiene practices. However, in some cases, ringworm can lead to complications such as secondary bacterial infections, scarring, and hair loss. If you suspect that you have ringworm, it is important to see a healthcare provider for an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. We're excited. Hope you enjoyed.